Hi, and thanks for tuning in to our live radio show. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany will begin in just a few moments. Please stay tuned. Kindly take this opportunity to share this show on your platforms because change can only come when we stand together as one, especially when it comes to ending the stigma on mental health.
You are not alone, and help is out there.
Kids have mental health issues, and we also need to learn coping skills.
Let's get started and let the show begin. See you soon.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity.
Hi, everyone. This is Tiffany Warner, host of Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and today we are going to be talking about surviving suicide, depression, overcoming a bad childhood, and so much more from an alchemist. And I'm just going to informally introduce my guest, Rose Djiofack, and she is amazing and has such a great story from overcoming so many things. But not only that, but just also born in, how do you pronounce it? Yaounde, Cameroon.
Yaounde.
Yaounde.
Yes.
Just
Good
ask
job.
that too. Thanks for being here with us, and for being on the show. And I've got to open the radio show.
We're on. Hello.
Hi. Are we live?
We are on.
Hi. Welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we have a wonderful guest from Cameroon, and we're going to be talking about overcoming so much and how to be an alchemist. I'm going to find out what that is and also much. And Ed, first of all, I want to say hi to you first before I introduce my guest. Did we fix the camera problem or no?
I did not. It's almost done, but happy Thursday to everybody.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
You can call in, and please call in. And when you call in, say hi to Ed when you do. And Ed, thanks so much for being on the show. And sorry, I was a little bit late. I lost my cue. Sorry. It's been one of those mornings. But everything going well with you, Ed?
Everything's good on this end.
Okay, great. So we'll talk to you guys. We'll talk to you soon. And something's wrong with my clock too. So you might want to give me a heads up when it's time for a break. Okay, if that's okay.
Okey-doke.
Anyway, so my guest today, she says her purpose is to help others fall madly in love with themselves. Her purpose is and passion is to inspire and be inspired. And she's a dedicated professional, passionate in her pursuit to guide and help others create and design their lives to their liking. And was born in Cameroon.
Mhm.
And although she's known today as the happiness warrior on her YouTube channel, she once faced stress filled with hurtful childhood. And she went to school with little understanding of American school system and barely being able to speak English, and left home wondering what was next for her. And went through years of suicide, ideation, stories of others, and reading stories of others that had attempted it, and decided that it was time to change and overcome her depression and vulnerable state. And then throughout time, and due to past abuse and violence, she realized she'd been dealing with depression and anxiety since childhood. And she's received a bachelor's of art degree in Hispanic literature and has come so much, and as a Dale Carnegie Highest Achievement and Outstanding Performance Award winner, and so much more. And I want to welcome to Moments of Clarity, Rose Djiofack.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on Moments of Clarity, Tiffany. I
Thank you.
appreciate that introduction. Thank you.
So let's start from the beginning, because your bio, like, it's really funny. I think at first I sent an intake to my guest, and I'm like, "How would you like me to introduce you?" And there was just like 2 sentences, and I'm like, I needed little more information, and then I couldn't even read it all. So let's start with your. I just want to hear it from you. Start from the beginning, where it all began as a child, and where you found your moment of clarity.
Very long story.
We have an
So I left home at 5, home meaning my biological mother, and it was one of my favorite aunts, actually the only one that I felt comfortable talking to because of her energy. And so we were just walking her to the bus or train station, I don't remember. And then my mom is like, "Oh, you're gonna go with her?" Like, why? She's like, "Oh, just go with her. I'll be right there." Right? Like in a kid's mind, when your mom says right there, you're thinking, "Oh, okay, just like a few seconds." But for her, it was just a way to make me feel comfortable. So I went, and that was it. I just never came back. And so my life changed from that moment on.
She tricked you, just like, "Oh,
Yes,
I'll be
yes,
right there,
because
get on the train, and I'll be right there," and you didn't get the proper goodbye or anything.
right, right. And then at that time, it was just my mother and I. So of course I was attached to her.
Right.
Looking back, I wish it was explained to me, because even though I was 5, I think I would have understood. But with
Sure.
my adoptive mother, who's actually my blood aunt, from my father's side, it was different. I was already a very independent young girl. I could do a lot of things. I like taking my own shower, so I would like lock the door and do my own thing. And so I also did a lot for a 5-year-old. I could cook, I could clean, and
Wow.
so I was just
Maybe I could for a 5-year-old.
I was very independent. And so, my adoptive mother has her own trauma, but because of that, I was responsible for a lot of things that I wasn't supposed to be responsible for as an adult. And so we didn't have a relationship. Like, I think my adoptive mother has hugged me maybe twice. And both of those times, she only did it because other people were watching. She's like, "Oh, hug me. We don't want those people to think we're barbarian, right?" But like, other than that, we didn't really talk. When she talked to me, it was just to yell at me or scream at me or tell me all the things that I was doing wrong. And so I kind of grew up for the longest time thinking something was wrong with me, like believing those words: "I'm the devil. I'm a terrible person. I will never have friends. I'm not a good person. I'm arrogant. I'm all these things." So I was having a hard time believing that there was goodness in me. And so I wondered, well, why would God bring me on this earth if I'm such a terrible person? Like, what am I here for? So for the longest time, I wanted to die, because something was wrong with me, the way I believed. And other kids seemed better. My mother always talked well of other kids. She always say, "Oh, why don't you be like this person?" And me as a kid, I would hang out with those people because I was like, okay, well, whatever it is they know, I got to learn it for myself. And after hanging out with them, for the most part, they felt like, I do way more in terms of chores, right? But also they're not that much better or different from me. They have their flaws, they have their weakness. So it just felt like my mom expected so much from me, which I tried my very best to be the best that I could be for her. And I was trying so hard, but it was never enough. So I just thought something was wrong with me, like I say. And then you go on choosing friends that do not respect you or treat you well because you don't actually know the difference. You don't know what love is supposed to be like. So if people judge you and tell you you're not good enough or something is wrong, you want to change yourself because you want them to like you so much. And the more you try, the more they reject you and it hurts. But you don't walk around telling people, oh, I'm hurting, I'm hurting. You fake it, right? So that was me. I was faking it. Um, from years of depression and anxiety and just struggling inside of me, there were many times that when the doors were closed, I thought to myself, wow, I'm really unhappy, but I'm not going to tell anybody, right? Like this was like a secret. I knew that I wasn't happy. I knew that I was acting happy. Sometimes I was starving. I didn't have enough food. I didn't have a place where to sleep. I didn't have things like covers, but I pretended that I was okay. So throughout my life, I knew something wasn't okay. And when I started really paying attention and asking myself, I started asking this kind of question like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? But at some point of my life, I started actually getting down to the bottom of it, like asking what's wrong with me and actually analyzing my actions, the kind of person that I am, how I treat other people, and what's going on in my mind. So as I was observing other people, what I noticed is that they had a different set of confidence. Like I was a confident person, but there was something different about them. It's almost as if they didn't care if people didn't like them because they probably had someone at home, like a father, a mother, a sister, someone that really loved them. So it didn't really matter so much other people's opinion. Whereas mine, even though I didn't want to admit it, deep, deep inside, I really wanted people to love me. So sometimes I wouldn't really stand up for myself because I didn't want to hurt their feelings because I thought if I hurt their feelings, they're not going to like me anymore. So I started wondering what's going on with you. So when I got down to my psyche, I understood what was going on was that I didn't have a source of love in my life. And so the only source of love that I was looking for was in other people, friends, co-worker, what have you. And so it was one thing after another. But in 2012, actually, it was December 2011 going into January 2012. We were in a seminar and they asked us to write down our goal, our biggest goal that money couldn't buy. And I couldn't think of anything. It just stayed in my mind. I want to be happy. 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 So I was like, okay, I'm going to write it down. And I did. And then the people that I was in a group with, when I shared it with them, the look on their faces, you could tell it was like, okay, we're just going to let that go. I was a little embarrassed, but then in my mind, I was like, okay, whatever, like it's my goal. But from there on, like it's like what they say, when you decide something, the universe conspires to bring it to you. Then I kept reading books and it would talk about happiness, the formula for happiness, your purpose, and all these kind of things. But this time my mind was different. I had been reading self-help books for a while, so I was at a point of my life where I finally follow Tony Robbins' advice and Les Brown, write it down. So now I was writing things down. I wasn't just listening to tapes like, yes, I was writing it down. I was doing the exercises. And
But
so,
let's pause for a second. Let's go back because that's a lot. From your childhood, first of all, being just abandoned by your mom, basically, and go with your aunt, and we'll be right there. That's make obviously as a child makes you feel like, well, why would she just let me go like that without an explanation? So that those kind of traumas, fear of abandonment and things like that, are subliminal in our head and can cause us to become people pleasers or wondering what's wrong with us. Why would they just let me go like that? So like what you said, looking back, wishing you had gotten an explanation probably would have helped for that. Hey, honey, I can't take care of you right now. You're going to go with your auntie. We're going to work something out, but I love you. And this is how it's going to be. I just want a better life for you or something like that. Probably would have been not probably, it would have been a very big change in your life where you would have not felt like that, and then not feeling loved by your aunt, AKA your adopted mom.
Mhm.
feeling like you were ever good enough. It made you wonder why and compare yourself to other people, it sounds
Mhm. Mhm.
right.
Mhm. Yeah.
And having to, instead of asking for the proper family guidance, like getting reassured of, hey, I got an A in school today, and they put it on their
Mhm.
fridge, or well done, or good report card, or we think you're so great, you're beautiful and amazing. It's, you had to look for it from other people and
Mhm.
wonder why, if you're good enough or if you're a burden on others and stuff like that, which leads to a lot of suicidal ideations and depression.
Mhm.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. And it defines who you are today when we go through our obstacles and what we
Mhm.
overcome. And our traumas in life define, it develops and defines who we are today by the way we react to them.
Yeah.
And so by seeking self-help and all of that stuff and trying to figure that out, I admire and commend you for that, because you're a survivor and didn't give up. And tried to figure it out yourself because no one else was teaching you,
Mhm.
and how to be happy, how to be loved, how to feel confident. All the stuff you figured that out yourself. And having you on the show today was a struggle because we had met on Clubhouse, and I was like, I believe in you, and I want you on the show. And you're like, oh no, no, I don't know. And finally talked you into it, and because I think with the, sometimes when we're not visual, but you can kind of tell your story, um,
Mhm.
it's just audio and all of that. And it's nice to see you face to face now. But for those on the video listening on the radio, we're virtual on youtube.com/MOC with Tiffany. We're also on LinkedIn Live at Tiffany Warner, WERHNER, or Facebook and Twitter at MOC with Tiffany if you'd like to view us live and join the live discussion. You can also call in at 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340. And it's time for our first break. But Rose, I got to tell you, you've gone through a lot, and the person that you've become today is very amazing. And I can't wait to hear more, but it's time for a break. So
Thank you. See you
we're
soon.
going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Join DID Discovering Hope for their 6th annual trauma conference, where Dr. Colin A. Ross will speak. He is internationally renowned clinician, researcher, author, and lecturer in the field of trauma-related disorders. CEs will be offered. Conference occurs 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday, October 22nd and Saturday the 23rd. Network, learn, and grow. Get an exhibitor table to share your organization or nonprofit. Learn more at diddiscoveringhope.org. That is diddiscoveringhope.org.
Hello, my name is Lucy Lopes, and I'm a real estate agent that supports ending the stigma on mental health with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I am also passionate about helping you buy or sell your home. With times being so difficult, I'm here to help. Contact me at lucylopes.com. That's LUCYLOPES.com. Let me assist you through this pandemic and know that you are not alone.
If you're a show host, gamer, live streamer, podcast host, or radio show host that would like your message to get out and reach up to 30 platforms, then there's an affordable way to do that. It's called Restream. Restream makes it easy to broadcast professional live videos from your browser to multiple social platforms at once. Start your live show with guests, brand it with logos and overlays, and create an interactive experience for your audience. Learn more at Restream.io and mention Moments of Clarity for special offers.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American Odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Warner.
Hi, and thanks for waiting. And if you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and your host. Frog in my throat, sorry. My guest today has gone through a lot of childhood abuse and neglect and so much, and suicidal ideations, and has become an alchemist, and has not only been moved from Cameroon to the United States without her knowing at age 5, but also has a beautiful heart and has developed so much and has been helping a lot of people find happiness within themselves, which is a great accomplishment when you have to learn yourself how to find it within yourself too. Mm-hmm. Welcome back to Moments of Clarity, Rose Djiofack.
Yes.
And so anyway, let's pick up where we left off. And I want to welcome callers. Call in 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. And let's give us some love out there. Summit Innovation says from Facebook, looking forward to great shows always. And Avi Gadia says, hi all. Wow, Rose, thanks for sharing. Thank you for sharing. So happy you found your moment of clarity. Abby, YouTube, you get a bell for saying moment of clarity. Thank you for listening. And she even put a bell emoji. And so let's continue. So you're looking up Tony Robbins, trying to fix everything. They say write it down. And
right. So the thing is, like I said, I had read a lot of books at this point and listened to a lot of motivation. And if you ever read comments on YouTube channel and things like that, there are a lot of people who are like, oh, it doesn't work. It's just mumbo jumbo. It doesn't work because we weren't doing the work. Because after years of listening and reading the books, there was no change, right? And so I was wondering, I'm wondering, it doesn't really work. Like Tony Robbins talks about it, Oprah talks about it, Lisa Nichols talks about it. They all have different backgrounds. So there was that hope that one day I'll be happy, like it does exist, because I can see and I can hear them talk about it. But I wonder, would it actually happen for me?
Yes, but you have to do the work.
Therapy, exactly.
And motivational speakers and all that. We can give advice, we can give guidance, we can give coping skills, but it's up to everyone else. It's up to the client. It's up to the people listening to do it themselves, because we don't have a magic wand. There's no magic pill. And nobody's psychic, but like I say a lot of times, how many therapists does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer is one, but the light bulb has to want to change. And so it's like with clients in my private practice, if they're not willing to do the work, I can't work harder than them. People have to work harder than the therapist. We can only tell someone, well, this is maybe the root of a problem, or maybe this is something that you need, because we have control over everything we want to change. We have choices. We are in control, and even God gave us free will. So we have choices in life to either make a change, work harder on ourselves, choose to leave a job we're unhappy with, choose to push away toxic people, choose to bet on ourselves and try to accomplish a dream, or choose to not do anything. And that's still our choice, to have everything remain as is. So it's like that. We're not stuck in anything except death and then taxes, but sometimes people cheat taxes too. So, we have this life within us, and we have ways. There's resources, there's charity companies, there's other things that people can look into where there's help out there. And not only that, but even if we're not even at that extreme, to find happiness, find a purpose in our life, and find a way to make it happen. Because most people that are on their deathbed, that are I've worked with in hospice and everything, they don't sit there and go, I regret the time I took the opportunity to change myself and be happier, or that time I went back to school, or that time. No, they regret this stuff, or they're upset about the stuff that they regret that they didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's the
Mm-hmm.
worst thing is to live with regret, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you took a chance with yourself.
Right.
Amen God for that.
Thank you.
So that explains why you were nervous to come on the show. I get that, but at the same time, like you, the more you speak about what you've been through, the more you heal. Correct?
Correct.
So you're betting on yourself. First of all, I want to ask, what is an alchemist?
So the process of alchemism is basically to turn mud into gold. It's transformation. And so the reason I say I'm an alchemist is because I transform. I was able to take the pain, the anger, the frustration, and I turned it into love, right? Because it is possible. You play with the cards you have, but at the same time, you need to figure out a way how it works for you. Like, it's not, oh, I'm going to play with the card that Stephanie has. It's what I have. So I had to play with what I have. So I transform. And like you said, it's possible for anyone. So understanding that I myself, this unhappy person, even though it wasn't obvious outwardly, could become someone who actually wakes up in the morning happy for no absolute reason. I know anyone can get there. I know it's true because I've been there, right? So when I talk about certain things, it's not just, oh, do this because I read it somewhere. It's because I'm trying it on myself, because I have to get up every day, because every day I have to convince my mind this is actually what I want, right? So
yes, you have to practice what you preach. Well, I actually looked up what alchemist is on Google. And medieval chemical science and speculative philosophy aiming to achieve the transmutation of the base metals into gold. And I knew that's not what Rose was talking about. So then, after, however, it's changing base metals into gold. So basically, metaphorically, changing something ordinary into gold. So then, it's also the discovery, and sorry for the typo, of a universal cure for disease and discovery of means of indefinitely prolonging life. But then I did more research, because examples of alchemy in a sentence would be, she practiced her alchemy in the kitchen, turning a pile of vegetables into a delicious salad. And so that's what Rose metaphorically did, turn vegetables into salad. A beautiful salad. And I'm going to quote Rose Djiofack here. She says, I believe loving yourself is the first step to freedom. I did my research. And she's got a beautiful website where you can find all these things at thehappinesswarrior.com.
Yes.
So you woke up one day, and that's a fancy way to say I decided to transform my life, and I'm gonna call myself an alchemist. And I was like, well, what is that? Like, a few weeks ago, we had a scrum master, and I didn't know that that's an actual thing.
I just learned about that too.
Yep. So anyway, okay, so an alchemist, you decided to transform your life. And so when was that moment of clarity for you?
I think 2012, I would say, would be that moment where I felt something was wrong and I wanted to make a difference. But it's been time after time. Like, I spend time, I'm obsessed with myself because I'm obsessed with other human. Therefore, I pay a lot of attention to what I'm doing, my flaws, my shortcomings, my progress. I pay a lot of attention because even though we're growing, we are consciously healing. You're still going to find things about yourself that you haven't yet healed. And you may even still be lying to yourself about it. So you need to be very clear, very honest with yourself, but also pay attention to your thoughts. So for me, I feel like it's every day. It's every day that I get to a certain point of my life and it's like, interesting that I'm behaving this way. This needs to change. I need to really observe the behavior and see where it's coming from. Because sometimes, for the most part, we think other people, like, oh, this is happening because other people are making me feel this way. No, you're feeling it because people don't put anger inside of you. You're angry, someone push the right button, it comes out. So you need to figure out where's the anger coming from. So
from the root of the problem, kind of leads me into wanting to ask you this really quick, not to interrupt, but what's your relationship with your mother now and your father and your adoptive mother?
I do not have what I would say a relationship with them. My father has never been part of my life, and I don't think he cares. He has a lot of children, so he just lives his life. My adoptive mother, we don't have a relationship. We never did. I will call every once in a while to check to make sure she's okay, especially if I hear that she's getting sick, just to let her know, not to stress, not to put herself through that. And then my biological mother, she lives her life. It doesn't seem, for me, from where I'm coming from right now at this point of my life, I don't feel like she's trying hard enough to have a relationship with me. And because I value myself enough, I don't feel like chasing anymore. I think that as a parent, you have a responsibility. And as a kid, I have a responsibility. But this is not, my culture is really set up on, oh, she's your mom. She gave you birth. You pretty much owe her your life. But yet, it's like, has she been there for me? Has she provided the things that a mother is supposed to? I have to figure out how to live my life. I can support my mom. I can love her to an extent, but at some point she needs to be responsible for her own decision and her own action. And it does pain me to say this, but this is the way life is. I'm not responsible for her. I'm responsible for me. So we don't have a relationship, but I'm okay with that because I'm happier this way than to try to force myself in a hole that doesn't fit.
Well, I mean, like it doesn't. In my opinion, I mean, we want to love our family, but we don't always have to like them.
Right, right.
And did you ever ask, or did she ever throw it in your face, like why she took you on the train? Like she adopted, or what was the whole reason when they didn't explain it to you back then? Which I find was kind of a horrible way to let your child go and not explain, and then have them all confused. Like, how is that even? I'm curious. How is it even explained to you back then when you were 5? Like, just your mom was just not coming. Just kidding. Like, how was that?
It was never explained to me. I just kind of figured out after a while that I was never gonna go back.
Did nobody told you? By the way, your mom's not coming. Like,
no, I mean, eventually I figured out like she wasn't coming. I was like, oh, where's my mom coming? I want to see her. And I remember actually my adoptive mother, the reason I stopped crying for my mom is that one day, like it felt like it had been a while. Maybe it was 2 weeks, but to me, it felt like it had been a while. And I was like, when is she coming? Because every day you ask, they tell you she's coming. And this specific time I was just crying. She told me, if you keep crying, I'm going to hit you. And I wasn't used to getting a lot of beating from my mom. So getting beat was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so scared of it. So I did not cry anymore. I never asked for my mother. I just moved on with my life. I mean, if you really think about it, it's very traumatic. Like
that's horrible. Rose, I'm so sorry. Like, I miss my mom when she coming and nobody explains, and then they're like, stop crying or I'm gonna beat you. Like, I am so sorry you went through that. That's horrible. All they had to do is talk to you about it, like, and let you cry and grieve your mother. Nobody wants to be ripped out of their mom's hands and just not told why. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, it just, I admire the person you are today, having gone through that. I mean, that could really change a person's perspective on the entire world. And so have you ever talked to your biological mom that never came?
So my biological mother it sounds like she doesn't really talk, like she doesn't really like talking about anything. She doesn't ask questions, she doesn't say anything. So the few times I tried to talk with her, like even when I ask questions, she gives me yes or no answers. Like she just seemed very, like that's what I was telling you earlier, like she's not doing enough as a mother. Like I don't have a child, but if I had a child and I didn't have contact with them, I would want to know everything about them. What is your favorite color? What is this, right? Like she doesn't ask questions. She doesn't, like I say, I don't think she cares. But I also think that she's never had to care for any one of her kids. So maybe she got used to the idea that someone else is going to take care of them. They're going to be successful in life, and then they're going to come take care of me. My mom, of course, my mom didn't go to school, but she stopped school at 15, but that doesn't change anything. There's a difference between being schooled and being educated, and learning to love your kids. You don't have to learn that at school. Like I say, she doesn't seem interested to ask those type of questions. and she seemed to avoid it when I bring up big subjects.
This
She'll
is
be like,
the
"Oh,
biological mom, not your aunt.
this is my biological mother."
And forgive me for not. I kind of said Cameroon, but which city is it? Because it's pronounced
I
very.
was born in Yaounde. I
One
was born in
day
Yaounde. Hmm.
I skipped over because I couldn't pronounce it. I could read
It's
it.
weird, right? Like you don't know how to pronounce it because you don't know.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. It's not pronounced the way it's spelled either. So
No.
it's confusing. It one day it's very pretty, but in Cameroon, and um, so if she's still there, you have to call her on like WhatsApp or Skype or Zoom.
Um, Skype works, WhatsApp works if she has like a smartphone. But usually we use phone cards, right? Like you can use phone cards, or you can like I can use a phone card to call her. Or if you have international plan, which usually doesn't go to Cameroon, so a phone card is usually the best way, unless she had a smartphone, and then you can call her through WhatsApp.
And a lot of as long as it's two iPhones, sometimes it's just free, just because it's iPhone to iPhone too.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have any siblings as well that she?
I have a lot of siblings. From my dad's side, I have an older brother from my mom's side and a younger sister from my mom's side. So my mom, my biological mother, she has 3 children total.
Wow. And so Dale Carnegie, how did you went to school, got a highest achievement award after all this? Congrats.
It was a training. Thank you. It was a training. Just a leadership training at a job where I was working. I had read his books many times. So, I mean, his book many times, the one about how to win friends and influence people. And I loved the lesson. I listened to the audio. So I was at a job and they were offering the training, and I wanted to take the training because the book was amazing. So I felt like the training would be amazing too. And so through that, they gave us exercise and speeches that we had to do in front of the class and different exercises. So the class would then vote at the end. So we voted for awards, and then there was the highest achievement award, which she says it's the highest one you can get in the training. So I was able to get that during our last speech. So I was very proud of myself because I was really scared to take the class. But when I did, I put my all into it. And that actually helped me find my voice again. It helped me remind me of who I was, because prior to that, I had been through a very depressive stage where I had given up. Where like I used to be you go through stages, but at that specific stage of my life, I had been kind of like, I'm so sick and tired of trying. I've tried everything. I have a school degree, I have this, I have that, but life is not giving up for me. So when I took the class and I was giving the speeches, I was speaking words. I'm the kind of person, if I say something, I'm going to do it. So when I talked about things, I made sure that I was practicing those. And as I was doing it, I started rediscovering myself and I started believing again. And yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's hard to just kind of all of a sudden believe in ourselves. I've had to go through something similar, but through time, to believe in ourselves when we don't have that family dynamic still, So I can understand, and I can tell you, I believe in you. So
thank you.
And you've come a long way. But it's time for our second break, and
yay!
We'll be back with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
With Tiffany Warner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary, no obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you having trouble staying sober after you've completed rehab and need a positive environment to help you continue sobriety? At Real Recovery Sober Living, we strive in both community and environment for men in early sobriety to help support you while in early recovery. For only $750 a month, we cover everything you need when it comes to a safe, clean, and accountable environment necessary for success in sobriety. Check out our website at realrecoveryfl.com. That's realrecoveryfl.com. We have 6 locations in Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Brandon, North Tampa, and Bradenton, because everyone deserves a quality, sober living.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hello and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name's Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and your host. And today we're talking about what an alchemist is, how we can transform our lives, and it's our choice to change things to be happier and to bet on ourselves, no matter what kind of past we've had and trauma. And my guest today has definitely talked a wonderful story about doing exactly that, and coming from a very hurtful childhood to where she's at now. I commend her, and welcome back to Moments of Clarity, Rose Djiofack. And so it's kind of towards the end of our story, you have this beautiful website, and it's kind of iridescent, but the Happiness Warrior. And tell us a little bit about that.
So the website is beginning of me building my coaching practice. So on that website, you can download my free ebook, which is about the steps to start loving yourself. So you can start there.
Yeah, there's there. You could also subscribe for it and get newsletters and blog letters and helpful things too.
Yes.
Keep going.
So no, that's okay. So
I loved your website. So I'm like, and we can do this and.
Thank you. So the again, like I said, the coaching practice, because I am a self-love coach. I don't like the coaching term, which is why I use Alchemist instead, because coaching, I understand what coaching stands for and all the things that they say, but me being a rebel, for me, it feels like, I mean, it doesn't really sit right with me. So coaching is more like the buzzword. If I say I'm a self-love coach, you know what a coach is. If I say I'm a self-love alchemist, you don't know what an alchemist is. So I'm a self-love alchemist, but I'm actually a coach, right? So the whole
put me to work. Yeah, and honestly, there's a lot of people that call themselves coaches, and that's just kind of like a therapist that didn't go to school. Like, honestly, like unless they're certified to be a life coach, like that's different. Alchemist sounds like so much cooler, to be honest.
Yeah, and I also think it's a little bit from what I teach, it's a little bit more realistic. I'm not going to do the work for you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. We're going to work with your tools, so you're going to figure it out for yourself. I'm just here to guide you, because when it comes to our salvation, we need to do it ourselves. Like you said earlier, you need to want it so badly. Like when someone tells you, "Oh, I can't do it," or "I can't do this," or "I wish I was like this," it's like you don't want it. Because when you want it, nothing will stop you. And that's how it felt for me when I was like, I want to change. I have to be happy. I need to be happy. It didn't matter who it was. I had to let go of certain people. I had to let go of jobs. I had to let go of situation. You change to become the person you really want to be. Yes, it takes hard work, but it's worth it.
Yes, well said. It's worth it to feel
Mm-hmm.
that we are able to be our own best friend rather than our own worst critic.
That's
And
right.
when we love ourselves, when people try to hurt us or do something, anything to try to put us down, it is kind of like water on a duck's back, or
Mm.
we repel it. It's kind of like, you know, there's a quote
Self-soothing.
someone said, and it keeps resonating with me, but lions don't care about the opinions of sheep if we love ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that quote.
Yeah, me
Nice.
too. Someone had just said it, and it just kind of resonated. Lions don't care about the opinions of sheep. So
Mm-hmm.
when the world tries to set us back because they see us doing good or whatever it is, or you feel like somebody's trying to hurt you, or that um, making any negative comments or a bad breakup or any,
Mm.
you know, are you a lion? Are you a sheep? Are you gonna care? Sheep cares. Sheep care about the opinions of lions because they can eat
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Lions don't care what sheep think. Anyway, but just something that resonated, and yeah, so you got to work on yourself and do the work. And so, how would somebody be able to hire you, Rose, for to learn to love themselves, and if they're feeling stuck or feeling like their self esteem needs a big kick in the butt? How do they find you?
The easiest and fastest way right now is through my Instagram. So Instagram is the happiness warrior, at the happiness warrior. So it's D like Delta, the happiness warrior. So on there you can send me a message, or you can click on the link tree where you can schedule your appointment with me. Or if you are in the Instagram tab, there's a book now that you can use, and it will take you directly to my calendar where you can choose your discovery call. If you've never done any kind of coaching, or if you don't know what self-love coaching is, or if you need it, definitely go for the free call. I extended it to 1 hour because I want to talk to you, I want to understand you, but I also want to make sure that we are a good fit. So take advantage of the free session. Is 1 hour, but from there on you can schedule more classes, more sessions for you. But the 1 hour free session give us an idea of what you want to work on, and we can detail it to your liking. We'll figure out what's best for you.
No, thank you. And so it's for the radio listeners, when she's saying the happiest words, not that. It's no the, it's no THE, it's the letter D,
Mm-hmm.
happiest warrior. So it sounds like the happiest warrior, but it's D, like the letter D as in dog, happy
Yeah.
warrior. On YouTube, Digital Spoof, thank you for watching, and left a comment, says, "Hi Tiffany, I think my son, I think, Trey. Yes. I live every day in chronic pain, and keeping a good
Mm-hmm.
mindset is important, but very hard some days." It's very true, and I'm sorry to hear that, friend. And a lot of times with chronic pain comes depression, and
Mm-hmm.
because you get kind of sick of the pain, and but a lot of people, and I don't know, I have chronic back pain too. My back is broken, and I just gotta take it easy sometimes. Some days are better than others, but also there's a lot of people that have overcome things through a positive mindset. Like Lance Armstrong overcame testicular cancer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
positive mindset can actually continue with how you want to live, quality of life too, things like that nature. But I guess to show gratitudes in the morning, even though we have things breaking us down
Mm-hmm.
and things that we struggle with, there's some things that could be worse, and to be able to wake up in the morning and say, I survived another day. I have air in all 4 tires of my car. That's a big one for me. Because when you go to work or whatever, or leave somewhere and one of your tires are flat, I'm grateful every day I don't have to, whenever that happens. I'm grateful for having positive people in my life, grateful for whatever it is, because I mean, we all have our things that we wake up and endure at the same time, but we also have things that everyone has something that they can be grateful for. And we're all good at something. We just need to find a hobby or purpose in life to try to make ourselves feel better, even if we're physically feeling bad. And having that sense of purpose, a calling where you wake up to a calling rather than an alarm, or having some sort of thing that you reach out can kind of override what we don't have.
Right.
But I really appreciate you listening to the show and leaving the comments. And we're wrapping up. We've got 5 minutes left. So, Rose, any takeaways that you would like to say?
Thank you for bringing me on the show. Like you say, I know that it took us a while to get here, and I'm glad that I was able to do this. It's not that my story was painful, and that's the thing, because it's no longer painful. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to talk about myself, but the thing is, when we share our story, not only we heal, but it helps and inspire others. And I can't keep what happened to me to myself, because there's someone out there who can relate, and they may not think that they have a chance, that there's happiness out there, but by listening to me, it makes them have hope that it's possible, right? So one thing that I do want to add is that it's important for us to be the energy of love, to do things from a place of love. Love is such a powerful energy, but like we need to really be in touch and connected to that energy so we can be better human being, because we only make a difference in the world when we make a difference in ourselves. And the better we change, the better our world will be. And I know we all dream of a better world. We have to do the work so the world could be a better place, because it's our world.
Well said. And that's how we perceive it. It's up to us on how we want to, what kind of mindset do we want to listen to, our negative thoughts or positive thoughts. And if it's hard for us to get out of a positive mindset, to do something to try to change it. Avoid negativity, avoid negative things, listen to good music, take a walk outside, sit outdoors when it's pretty outside, play with, go to visit a humane society or animal shelter, things like that. I don't know, do something voluntary that you don't normally do. Listen to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany podcast. But throw that one out there. And our friend on YouTube says, thank you both for helping people be human. Well, we are all human, and everyone does good things, and the people that try to pretend that they don't. There's no full of it. Anyway, it's time for us to wrap up. Rose, you've been an amazing guest, and thank you so much. And I encourage everyone to check out our website, D as in D, dog, whatever, happinesswarrior.com. Anyway, thank you so much. It's time to wrap up our show. We're on tomorrow with a great manifestation and another hopeful person to talk about how we can manifest and find our dreams and make ourselves happy. This week is full of happy, inspirational guests, as always. And as always, we're on live every Thursday and Friday from 12 to 1. And so thank you, Ed. Thank you, team. Thank everyone for watching and everyone for the comments. Thursday and Friday, 12 to 1. Please be kind to yourself and to a stranger, because you never know what they're going through. And change can only come when we stand together as one. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Bye.
Now it clicks. Don't put yourself down. Time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity.